Hi everybody, Steve Dyson, HSE Manager here, and today I want to chat with you about how we can capture, recognise and celebrate the wins we are having in safety and what more we can do to build on our safety reporting culture at TAE Aerospace. Before we start, however, I'd like to share a 5-minute video with you regarding the progression of a safety culture within an organisation to give you some insight as to why we are introducing safety performance objectives like positive safety interactions and safety training to everyone within the business.
Welcome to today's exploration about the correlation between safety in the workplace and corporate culture in light of an indisputably pioneering study by...
Let's keep it simple. Today's topic is safety in the workplace and how our own corporate culture can impact on the safety and well-being of employees. The Bradley Curve offers us a simple model. The Bradley Curve describes the relationship between corporate culture and safety in the workplace. A company with a high number of accidents is here at the start. Only through observation, training and motivation can the various stages of the corporate culture develop with accident numbers that fall accordingly. There are a total of 4 of these stages, and I'm now going to show you in detail how they differ. Let's start with stage 1. Safety in the workplace based on natural instincts. In this stage, managers and employees accept the risk of accident as a natural occurrence that cannot be controlled, and there is no will to control it either. Accidents will happen sometimes. Ultimately, we're dealing with adults, and it's not possible to tell them exactly what to do. Sound human reasoning will provide the degree of safety needed, is the primitive view. Specialists in occupational safety are mainly regarded as annoying in such environments and are rarely taken seriously. In this type of corporate culture, the potential for accidents is extremely high. The slogan, "Zero accidents," is interpreted as an illusion. Stage 2. Safety in the workplace through control and monitoring. Companies at this stage take safety in the workplace seriously and want to avoid accidents at work as much as possible. As a result, managers are also obliged to track accident frequency rates as a specific goal. To achieve this, managers in Stage 2 use rules and sanctions combined with a strict monitoring system. This corporate culture uses enforcement and the fear of punishment to avoid accidents. This type of corporate culture has a lot in common with strict parenting, since if nobody's watching, the rules will be simply ignored. Accidents are therefore just waiting to happen, and zero accidents remain a utopian idea. Stage 3. Safety in the workplace as a belief. Companies in Stage 3 set themselves the goal of zero accidents. To achieve this, however, they do not use the threat of enforcement and fear. Instead, they encourage every employee to want to protect themselves. Measures and standards for safety in the workplace are drawn up together. Specialists in occupational safety are always involved and are regarded as a support and contributor to individual safety. The basic mindset is therefore, if everyone protects themselves, everyone is protected. The motivation to want to actively and preventively protect oneself ensures an exceptionally low accident rate. But it gets better. Stage 4. Safety in the workplace as teamwork. The highest stage of development is reached by companies who oblige themselves to keep the accident rate uncompromisingly at 0. Zero accidents for them is a choice. A single accident in the workplace is regarded as evidence of incapacity on the part of management and perceived as such by the team. To avoid any incidents at all, in addition to extensive rules and regulations, everyone adheres to a system of conscious mutual consideration. The motivation to look after not just yourself, but also your team members, reduces the risk of accidents to 0. This modern principle doesn't just apply to workers. Managers also see themselves as personally obliged to never put profit or productivity before the safety of employees. The well-being of employees is regarded as the ultimate goal. Sources of danger are consistently recognized and eliminated before accidents can happen. In accordance with the Bradley Curve, the highest level of corporate culture with the lowest risk of accidents is associated with an inner belief encouraging mutual respect, constant consideration of others, motivation, and team spirit. Those were the 4 stages of the Bradley Curve. So where are you? Yes, you. What's your personal motto when it comes to safety in the workplace? Are your natural instincts enough to help you avoid accidents? Then you're at stage 1. Or do you understand safety in the workplace as a system of rules and monitoring? Then you're still at stage 2. Or are you someone for whom safety in the workplace is a matter of inner belief? Congratulations, you're already at stage 3. Or do you practice safety in the workplace, not just out of a belief for yourself, but also for your colleagues? That would be stage 4. Then you are a true driving force behind modern safety and well-being in the workplace at BMW, and a guarantor of your own safety and that of your colleagues. No matter what stage you are currently at, ask yourself the question where you want to be on the Bradley Curve and what you need to change to get there.
Welcome back. One of the biggest challenges we have in safety is trying to prevent a mindset that overlooks all the good things that are happening as standard practice within the business. Quite often there's a tendency to only look at and report unsafe, at-risk behaviours or injuries, and it can quite often send the wrong message with regards to the perception of safety. If we only focus on the negative aspects, i.e. 3 unsafe observations around PPE being worn, how do we know if that's good or bad? There's no context to measure how big the problem is. However, if you also know that in the same time period there were 300 good observations regarding PPE, the unsafe observations are given some kind of context. So one of the ways we can prevent this negative mindset is to conduct regular positive safety observations and provide positive feedback to the teams and to the business, therefore giving us the opportunity to celebrate success, especially to those who took care of an unsafe issue. This in turn helps to motivate those individuals and teams to continue working as they do, whilst demonstrating examples of good behaviour to others within the business. We have an amazing opportunity to start tracking the small wins that we have so that we can actually start to compound their effects over time and be able to really think about how celebrating the small wins that we have on a day-to-day basis will affect our teams and affect the culture at TA Aerospace. The important thing about small wins is that we're continually building upon them and that we're communicating them with our teams so that everybody sees what's happening within the organisation. What you'll find is that when you start to recognise the good things and bring them up to your team, you get a very positive cultural effect. There's a science behind this in that we get a reward in our brain every time that we get positive reinforcement, usually via a dopamine release. Conversely, we all know how we feel every time you get somebody that comes down on you very hard and gives you a hard time. There's a feeling of dejection, and that with the ripple effect can go all the way through the team. A simple behaviour change through focusing on the positive and rewarding wins works really well, and we'll start to see that it actually changes the way that people feel about safety and how they feel about what they're doing during the day. Some of the things that you want to be looking for during a positive safety interaction are behaviours, continuous improvement, a great mentorship moment, or recognising a safety leader within the team. These then become great opportunities to vocalise a win and make sure that the team knows how the good things that they're doing and the good things that everybody around them are doing are affecting the business. This is going to build a strength to our overall safety culture, and over time, as we keep stacking the wins on top of each other, we start to build this positive momentum in our safety programme, and we'll then see it spread throughout the whole organisation. This next video I'd like to share is a brief 1-minute explanation of what a positive safety interaction should be and what it should not be.
If you have a minute, I'd like to talk to you about safety interactions. Many managers and supervisors believe that having frequent, short conversations with frontline employees out in the work area is an important key to safety. These safety interactions can be very effective, but how they are done really matters. For example, if you spend most of your interactions focusing on at-risk behavior, over time, these interactions are going to have a harmful effect. Try these tips instead. First, make most of your safety interactions positive. Focus on safe behavior and what's going well. Don't ignore at-risk behavior, but the bottom line is that people are working safely more often than not. So make most of those interactions positive ones. Second, make it an interaction, not a speech. Ask questions and get the other person involved in the conversation. Finally, make them specific. Pinpoint what the person did well and what you see that you liked. That makes it more likely they'll repeat the good things. Thanks for taking a minute, and next time you have a safety interaction, use these tips to make them most effective.
So now you should understand the why of positive safety interactions, and here are some steps to follow for a successful positive interaction with the teams. Number one, don't overthink it. There are opportunities to have a safety interaction regardless of the role you have within TAE. If you are in a remote or working from home location and have limited access to a workplace, make it a conversation with a customer or supplier. Ask if they have any safety concerns related to our services or products. Or if you're attending a customer site, are there any observations you can make about their workplace? i.e. is the lighting sufficient in the car park? Or do they do something that could be implemented at one of the TAE sites, so one of the good things that they do? Number two, plan ahead. If planning to do an interaction in the workshop, then please talk to the operations manager to arrange a suitable time. Step three, introduce yourself. Explain the purpose of the observation and request permission. Ask the individual what the activity or task entails, what are the most important things to keep in mind from a safety perspective while performing the task, observe the activity from a safe distance, make notes of how the task was completed and focus on the positive, looking at the PP, what's been worn, and if it's been worn correctly. Have a look at the manual handling techniques, see if they're being employed correctly, and have a look at any interaction with other workers. For example, if they're operating an overhead crane in the area. Most importantly, give feedback at the end of the observation. So emphasize what safety behaviours were observed, discuss any at-risk behaviours and how they might be corrected, say thank you for their time, and then follow up on any recommendations from the persons who we've observed. So this final video is how to record your positive safety interactions on our IFS incident reporting system and includes an example of what information is required.
To record your positive safety interaction, go to the TAE Internet and click on the Reporter Hazard icon. This will then open IFS and the Incident Report module. Once that's opened, go to the Incident Case Reference Name, type in PSI and then a short title over what the observation was about. So for here, we undertook an observation of forklift operations in Warehouse B. Next, go to the detailed description and put information over what was observed. Once the details have been completed, go to Location ID and press F8 for Field of Values and select the location of the site. Next, go to Sublocation ID and select the area in that location. And then finally, in the immediate actions taken, just list some any unsafe or at-risk behaviours identified and what discussions were had with the individuals. Next, we go to Incident Class and select Observations, and then Incident Type, Positive Safety Interaction. For the incident date, we put the date that the interaction was completed and record the time. For severity level, we go to List of Values or press F8 again and select the appropriate level. Once that's complete, we then click Save and the safety interaction is recorded on the system.
Thank you for completing your positive safety interaction training. I look forward to seeing the reports coming through the system and watching our safety culture grow. Lastly, please don't forget to record your training on IFS as part of your HSE training safety performance objective.